So here is the 2020 Chevy Bolt that I'm driving. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fuel range when the weather is like this. 24 degrees. Windy again. Love this trail. Woo. Might have to overshoot some of these this time.
Here we go, Chad.
Oh yes. Can't believe I just did that. Hello, welcome to my channel. This is actually a little bit of a car review. I'm driving a Chevy Bolt. One of the things I've done over the last couple of years is I go out and do research on electric cars because I really like electric cars and I like the direction that we're going with them. But it's really hard to find any information about what happens to electric cars in the colder temps. I see a lot of tests online where they talk about electric cars in like when it's below 40, but I'm in Minnesota and it gets way below 40 degrees here. Today it is 24 degrees, as we can see right here. And I want to talk a little bit about the range in cold weather. So my first bit of advice, if you are interested in buying an electric car and you live in a northern colder climate, whether that's northern US, mostly central US where it gets really cold, or in Canada, you're gonna have a significant reduction in range. So when you're buying the car, make sure you buy an electric car that has the maximum amount of range. Like, spend the extra money to get the car that has the maximum range. So this is a 2020 Chevrolet Bolt, and in the summertime it easily can get 260, 255, 260 miles of range, 60, 70, 80 degree temperatures like that. Come winter time, it's significantly reduced, and this meter on the left is actually pretty accurate. I've only been driving it a few miles and it is down to 142. They say max of 168. I highly doubt I could get to that. I don't know what I would have to do. 142, minimum of 116. So basically I would say this car gets 100 to 120 miles less of range in the colder temperatures. There's a few factors involved here. One, we've got snow everywhere, so the tires are slipping a lot more, which uses more energy to get you moving the same amount of distance. Another thing that happens is I have the heat going. I have the heated seats on, so I mean I could turn those off now because it's pretty warm. It has a heated steering wheel. The heater has to be pretty close to full blast just to keep the windows clear, things like that, because we're having a little bit of snow right now. So in these conditions the range is reduced quite a bit. That's just something I don't really hear a lot of people talk about with electric cars. Is, you know, there's cold weather, and then there's cold weather and snow and all these other factors. Electric vehicles are not the only vehicles that have issues with range in the colder weather. The only difference is with a gas-powered car, when you run out of gas, you can just go to a gas pump and fill it up. Electric car, you have to kind of plan and charge the car up accordingly. My truck in the hotter months easily gets 19, 20, 21 miles per gallon. Right now in these conditions it's getting about 15 and a half, 16 miles per gallon. That's a pretty significant reduction, and using a lot more fuel. Again, my truck does have 4x4, so sometimes I have to put it in 4x4. The moment I do that, cuts fuel economy, things like that. But electric car I don't think is as efficient. It definitely seems to drop down a bit more than ice powered car. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about this Bolt. Let me get out and show you what tires are on this car. Okay, so I'm trying to check what these are. These are actual winter tires that were swapped out on this. They're made by General. These were actually on my Chevy Volt, but decided to put them on the Bolt for trying out. But this is pretty much a mandatory thing to do in any car in Minnesota in the wintertime. But the tires will actually help give this car a little more range, especially in these conditions. In dry conditions, they'll actually reduce the range of the car. So they're definitely something in the springtime that gets swapped back to the low rolling resistance tires that came with this car. But in the wintertime, it's really important to put the proper tires on. You'll just be a lot happier. This car just drives through the snow like nothing. It just shreds this stuff with these tires on it. Front wheel drive only, but these tires make the world of difference. So there you have it. Chevy Bolt. I love it, but just keep in mind, in the wintertime, you are going to lose a lot of range. So if you're looking at buying an electric car, get one with 250, 300 miles of range, or even more if you can, if you live in a colder climate. Thanks for watching.